But that's why I love your point. Sometimes it's not about what's gonna make you the most profit, it's what makes you alive to motivate you enough to be like, I have to try something different, and I see other people doing this.
Yeah, if it wasn't for some challenges like that, I don't think I'd be fired up to grow more.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of Careful Boys. Today we have with us Mr. Eric White.
Thank you. I'll never get tired of this.
The creator of Dumbbell Gang. We were talking earlier about, you had a really great question. I think it was, when did you realize that you were not gonna do a regular job? Something like that.
I can go first. I think the question was, or the way I received it was more so like, I think most people, like, you're kind of like indoctrinated into, I have to get this job that's 9 to 5 and it's stable and you're always looking for stability. And when you see entrepreneurship, it feels very unstable. And then you're like, but when can this become like the viable thing? There's a part of me after doing entrepreneurship with JK, with Barbell, which is like the past since 2007 till now. What is that, 17 years?
Yeah.
It still feels like this could all end at any time. That's how it feels like. It feels like it's just like...
It can.
Yeah, somehow the fucking train just keeps moving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I've been indoctrinated for, I don't know, like the past 18 years of my life, where you're like, you know what? You gotta go work at a post office, man. Those things never go out of business. And then, so like, it feels like when you clock in and clock out somewhere, that's the most stable. And then when you need to do things yourself, you're like, anything can happen. There's markets, there's trends, there's whatever. Even though you technically have way more control of your destiny. So I just go after it, because I'm stupid or whatever. And I'm just like,
because you're cool.
I'm like, fuck it, whatever, dude. And I just been saying fuck it for like 17 years, and it just keeps going somehow.
Pretty sweet.
Dude, honestly, I feel the same way. Like,
right?
Everything can just go to shit.
Yeah. I know people that have like are 9 figures in the bank, and they're like, dude, I ran this brand for 30 years, and the whole time I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, because the scary thing is you see a lot of stories and cases like this, where you see people build up brands and businesses, and then one day you find out the books weren't as good as everyone thought, and they go under, and then, you know, as an entrepreneur, I always look at those cases, and I never shit on them, because I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, it's hard. I think to your point, I think honestly, being stupid and being cool, the two are tied together. No, really. Because think about it, the conventional smart guy thing is, oh, let me go get the stable job. Let me go work at the Ivy League.
Post
Let me
office.
get the post office. The post office. Post office. Never going out of business. Yeah, because there's a certain stability since someone else has the responsibility. Someone else is calling the shots. In a way, you have to be stupid or someone came out and hurt you one day to go out and say, no, I'm gonna do this on my own, because now, to your point, you take on all the responsibility if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's the real question. Like, when did you realize you were stupid?
Whole life, my boy. The whole life, dog.
Like, I feel like I didn't really even go into like the dance journey, like for real. It was always just a hobby until I got laid off. So like I was working for one of my homies actually, and he was running a clothing company, and the company ended up going under because of it wasn't like poor decision making, but like basically there was like a larger retailer that had like 80+% of like the sales that were happening for that company. So they were a major retailer, and they filed Chapter 11, and they owed that our company hella money, but they couldn't pay. So everything had to just go under. And that meant I got laid off, and it was amicable and stuff, but at the end of the day, I still got laid off. I was just the marketing, department manager, if you will. And it wasn't until I lost everything and didn't know like what to do next, and also hated the feeling of like trying to put my resume together again, like years after college, thinking that you hadn't done shit, that I was like, man, I also have this example of people like my best friend, like Mike, who's fucking traveling and dancing all over the world now off of ABDC, and I was like, oh shit, this thing can work. So I had both like no hope and I guess just like being at the bottom in one sense, but then I also had like an example so close to me of like, oh shit, people can do this. And I think that was like the perfect kind of like melting pot of like a situation for me to get stupid enough to be like, maybe I should try it myself too.
Did you guys have parents that were reinforcing this fear and telling you have to do this and that?
Dude, yeah, that was the hardest. The first year and a half of me trying to dance for a living, like my mom got so on my case that I stopped calling, and then my mom and my dad would argue with each other
about your future.
Yeah, because my dad didn't like it, but what he hated was my mom getting on me so much that he's like, this is why he's not coming home, because you keep fucking ragging on him.
So but weren't they entrepreneurial too?
And maybe that's why. Maybe they know how hard it is. Like, don't do this. Go clock into some stuff.
Maybe they don't think that dance is as legitimate as having a physical like laundromat.
Plus, they're looking at my sister, who fucking went to UCLA and got like a regular job and has been at her like finance company for like 12 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? At that time, it's like she's fucking killing it. Like you're now picking up a sushi waiting job in order to figure out this dance thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just, of course, it was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get it at the time because I was like, believe in me. Yeah. But that is the stupidity that you also do need, right? Like in a serious
you need
way.
that.
Like you kind of need that like fuck everything,
faith.
Tunnel vision.
It's not stupidity, it's faith.
You know what I know? One of the stupidest like business models I had. This is how stupid it is. Cause like, so me and Joey come from the internet, YouTube, AdSense world, right? So the first brick and mortar I set up was our gym. And this is how, looking back on this is the stupidest thing. I found out, cause my brain is like literally like that of a second grader. I was like, okay, what's the leaf? The leaf is gonna be $2,500 a month. And then I was like, okay. And then I go, I need 4 employees to run the gym. And I did all the numbers. So I realized my first Barbell Brigade gym, the expense was gonna be $5,500.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
$5,500, I'll cover my expenses. So when we did our first crowdsourcing video to get people to join, you know what number I said?
55?
I was like, $55, 100 members. That's all I need. That means if I lose one member, I'm in the negative. If any fucking thing happens, I'm in the fucking negative. You know, someone.
Damn, you set the bar bare minimum.
If a pull-up bar breaks, I have to fund it now. It was literally like, I need 5,500. I just need 5,500.
That's pretty sick, man.
Dude, you're a man of people. That's
and it wasn't until later I was like, dude, that's a literally zero margin.
Zero profit. Zero profit.
That's not how we save the community center, man.
Wait, when did you realize you wanted to make profit?
Well, I realized also I calculated me and my wife's hours into the gym. So I'm like, fuck, if I clock out, now it's not 5,500 anymore, it's 6,000. Shit,
I only have 100 members.
I was like, now I need to get more people to cover my shift. And you know, so it's just like from that stupid ass zero margin model, I slowly like over time so fucking dumb, dude.
Oh man.
What was it like running that YouTube business though? Because that also you have to track profit and loss, right?
But the margins are way crazy. So we bootstrapped from a house. Yeah. It was out of my house.
We didn't take a paycheck for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And we paid everybody out. We had people that ran with us for over 2 years with no pay. And then we just paid them out fat once we got paid. Yeah. Yeah, we were giving out 6-figure bonuses, all that. Sorry you guys weren't a part of that era.
Sounds great though.
It was a fun time.
I'm having fun. We have Oreos here.
But you know, that's after getting into business, the thing that was told to me would be risky actually became the safest, most reliable thing, which is YouTube. 17 years. Still pays all of my bills with the part-time work that we do. Yeah. And I'm just like, the margins are so crazy that it kinds of, like, you just don't understand what's really out there. Like, owning a restaurant, you're lucky if you get a 10% margin. YouTube, it's like 90. Well, depending on what you do, right?
Yeah, if you're like a bedroom vlogger, ranter, or whatever.
Talking on a webcam? Come on, dude.
Naked?
Okay.
That means you make $1 million, you keep like 999,000, you know?
What the fuck, dude?
And because you spend $1,000 on your laptop. Whatever it is, like, I didn't know this, right? And you know, you don't know these things until after you grow your company, build it up, do all these things, and then you go out and you go, maybe I can do this in other things. And then you go, why the fuck? Damn, so this fool, he owns a farm and he only makes 5%, and this guy has a restaurant. These things that are, look, it's tangible looking, right? There's a building, there's people coming in and out, there's staff, and you think like these things are more stable because it's physical and it's been around, the concept's been around for a long time. Yeah. And you go, no wonder fucking 9 out of 10 restaurants fail every year. This is hard shit.
Yeah, it is hard.
I'm only saying restaurant because I'm realizing like I thought that was the more stable, safer thing. So I was like, how are we gonna diversify from digital? We need to get into other projects, right? So we start dumping into different games, and then once you dump, you start learning about it, and you're like, holy crap, this is not what I thought. They make money on the exit, they make money on the scale, they make, you know, it's like Cheesecake Factory will make 30 mil, but how much do they take home? Maybe a mil, 3 mil, I don't know, right? So you're just like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's a different game.
I remember you saying that about farms.
Yeah, their margins are fucking tiny, bro. That's why farmers are always broke. Unless they're
poor farmers.
Hey, their farm.
How else can we rip on farmers?
Like, let's say their farm might be making like $5 million, like, but they might be on debt and subsidies. You know, like
to cover my $5 million.
Yeah.
Because of the cost is so high, and then there's seasons, and it's like it's just crazy.
Since you opened Junbi, did you have that realization as well of like what things are you now like? Wow, that wasn't what I thought. Yeah.
Well, I think one is
we have a small restaurant.
There's different cultures depending on industry, right? Like what you said about Wall Street and the machismo. Old white dudes are hella aggressive when they talk to you. And in entertainment, it's different. Like the old white dudes in entertainment, it's a different kind of...
They're schmoozing you up?
Everybody's trying to be best friends. Yeah, okay. Everyone's fake as fuck and they're friendly because you don't know who's going to be successful.
Joseph, baby!
How you been?
When you're in the world of commercial real estate, finance, when you're negotiating something, when you're dealing with lawyers, like... It's a completely different world. Like in my world, I'm like, I come from a world of if you raise your voice like that, we're throwing fucking fists. But in their world, they scream at each other, fucking say crazy shit. No one's fighting. And that's what shocked me. It's like, you know what I'm talking about, right? They'll be red-faced fucking saying the most aggressive, fucked up shit. And then I'm just here
it's
like...
It's not personal at all.
No, it's just a tactic. It's like, you know, before a fight, right? In a professional UFC fight, you try to get the other guy all fucked up in the head, so then they don't perform well. That's what it was. The first time I experienced it, I was like, oh, are we fucking killing motherfuckers today or what?
It's like they messed with the wrong guy.
I was like, all right, let's fucking do this shit. And then he's like, no. Like, this is, like, shut up. Like, I was about to scream back and take it seriously, but it's not real. Like what's happening is not the, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's like every subculture, there's a certain type of code, right? Like the jargon, how you learn to speak with each other.
And then I didn't know that shit. So when I came in, I was like, holy fuck, these guys are mad at us. That's what
what do we do?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh wait, okay, I get the game now.
But then at the end of the discussion, are you, and everyone settled down, is it like amicable again?
Well, it depends on their strategy. If their strategy is to appear upset, then, you know what I mean? They're playing with you. It's a game, it's a game. And then for me, I took it like for face value. I was gullible. I thought they were screaming at me, I fucked up, I did something wrong. I took it as like what's happening is reality versus like it's a game of poker. It's a game of mafia. You know what I mean? Like it's a they're just this is a negotiation thing.
I think I remember when you were on the phone, like because I think you had your thing in and you had the phone there and you were just like this.
Oh, shit.
I think I remember when.
Dude, I had this one time I was just talking about how you know we couldn't get a certain permit done because the state. The permitting department. So every time you want to do construction on a building, you know, the state has to approve that, right? So we're delayed on a project, and then on top of that, you know, the FBI came and they raided the city of Honolulu and basically fired off like all the employees in the department. So the conversation was the landlord wanted us to finish this project because you need to start paying rent, yada yada yada. And then for me, I'm like, well, it's not our fault. And out of nowhere, this guy chimes in. He goes, I don't know you and you don't know me, but it's all your fault. Your fault. Get it done. Right? And I was like, what the fuck, motherfucker? If I see you in person, I'll choke the shit out of you. I didn't say that.
Who is this guy?
But I already knew at this point that some guys react this way to try to intimidate and be a gangster. But they're not real gangsters. They're just fucking aggressive for no reason, right? So then I used that as an opportunity because by this time I understood, like, well, I did want to call him a punk ass bitch, but my friend chimed in and then he kind of got me to think. And this whole time I've been wanting to put my buddy on the project. He's a contractor. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I didn't know you were on page with me and you wanted to be elite, you wanted to do this illegal thing. I didn't know that. I thought you guys were a legitimate company. If you guys are okay with this and you want to be illegal buddies, then how about this? None of your guys' contractors will allow me to get this done without permitting, but I have a friend that will. So put my friend on the project, approve that, and we'll get it done. How about that? Let's go to jail together, right? He shut the fuck up. And so that was like, oh fuck, I won the fight. Cause then like I didn't get mad, but I got what I wanted. I got my buddy on the project. So it was like, those are the kind of things that I feel like is the business stuff that you don't learn, right? Like there's just all these weird things that happen. I don't like it. I just want to build businesses. But yeah.
So it sounds like everything outside the YouTube stuff has been way more stressful. Less profitable.
Yeah. Right.
Why the fuck you doing it?
Oh shit.
I love a fight and I love novelty.
So there's that passion to learn.
I've been doing this for 17 years and it got boring. So like,
sorry.
Yeah.
Thought we were enough for you, Joe.
No, let me this is the fun part.
I was joking.
But there's a formula to everything, right?
Like
and it can't. I just need a break, like, so I could do some other shit and come back. So I think that's the thing. Is like, not boring is the wrong word. I think it got
lame.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
You know when you're so in it, that you can't break out of your routine. So like, I needed to do something different to look at it from outside in.
I love that. Yeah, because I think people forget business, it's not always about how much can I make. It's also what makes you feel alive.
Yeah.
For me, that moment, you talked through how you got laid off and you saw your friend was dancing and they're killing it, and like that's the moment you decided, I'm gonna be stupid now. Yeah. I had something similar. I was on a consulting project. I came out to Palo Alto. I met this guy. He was 20 years old. He was living out of his car. And he was like, I'm gonna make it big. I have this gigantic passion idea he told me about. He's like, I'm gonna get someone to give me money. I was like, good luck, guy in a car. And then a month later, he's like, yeah, I got the co-founder of PayPal to give me $1 million.
What the heck?
And I was like, wow, how? And he tells me the story. He goes to this conference, finds the co-founder of PayPal got there, goes up to him, like talks about him, his idea, and you know, the co-founder
cold
of PayPal,
pitch?
Yeah, just a cold pitch. The guy was like, whatever. And he disappears. And then he goes to the conference organizer, my friend, and he says, hey, you know that guy, the co-founder of PayPal? He left his laptop with me. I gotta make sure he gets it. The conference organizer calls.
Did he really leave the laptop?
No,
there was no laptop, dude.
My friend is just making shit. That would have been funny. He's like, oh yeah, I have it. No, my friend is just making shit up. But the conference organizer knows, so he calls and he's like, this guy says he has your laptop. And of course, the PayPal guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Put me on the phone. And he's like, look, I don't have your laptop, but this is how passionate I am and how hard I need to get.
I will lie to talk to you.
No, actually.
I get what I want.
Actually, and then he's like, by the way, this other entrepreneur that you don't like is interested in putting in money into me. So he like played on that adversarial thing.
Was that true?
Wow.
Oh man.
Kind of, right? Like these things are never, you can't say something that's not true. It could be true. It's hard to say.
He's intrigued.
And yeah, he's intrigued. He's like, you know what? Come by and let's meet. And you know what my friend does? He says, nah. Actually,
he begged him.
you know, the only time I'm free is this one time when he knew the guy wouldn't be free. He's like, I want to get to you, but I'm flying out like this time. If you can't make it, we can't do it. And the guy's like, oh, let me get back to you. And then my friend, he just hangs up. And then he knows which hotel the co-founder of PayPal is staying at. So he goes to that hotel lobby at 7 a.m. so he can sit there with his laptop, pretend he's working, because he knows eventually the guy's gonna come out. The guy comes out, he's like, oh, He's like, oh, okay, fine. You know, we can talk now. And that's how he raised that $1 million. So when I heard this, I was I'm like, I am stupid. I'm doing, like you, Joe, the same fucking thing every day, working as a cog in the machine. And there are people out there, so much of it's the chutzpah, the risk tolerance. Now, the big thing, of course, you have to back it up. Raising money is step one. Step two is you actually have to execute, but he did. He actually went and built a crypto company that's now worth millions. Wow. Jeez. But people forget it's not enough. This is why I learned from Asian parents. Just work hard, everything will be okay. What they didn't teach you is you have to be able to go and play that game, to know the culture, use that to your advantage.
That's gangster.
But that's why I love your point. Sometimes it's not about what's gonna make you the most profit, it's what makes you alive to motivate you enough to be like, I have to try something different, and I see other people doing this.
Yeah, if it wasn't for some challenges like that, I don't think I'd be fired up to grow more. You're right, because after a while, you get comfortable. I think that's the word, comfortable. Like, you have all this money now. If money is usually most people's motivator, right? They want to get to a certain point of comfort. But once you get there, then you kind of lose the purpose because you hit that goal. It's kind of like you got into Harvard and you go, it's not all that cracked up to be. You have numbers in your bank account and you feel safe. So what I did was I dumped it all into Luna and it crashed, and I have zero, and I now have a fire under my ass.
How much did you lose?
1.6 mil.
That's a lot of conviction. That's a lot of
But that's 1.6 mil with no liquid left over for me. So that's not. I didn't have a safety net, bro.
Wait, how did you feel when that happened? Shit, like, what did you do next?
Is that for part 3?
Yeah. Part 3. Run it up, dude.